how to bring this country back together and buttress those civilizing forces, we're going to be in trouble not just this year, but for the next 4 years, the next 40 years.
Joe, I mean, I think you have gotten to the heart of the matter. When we think about, one way to think about those civilizing forces is a sense of fellow feeling, a sense of mutuality, a robust conception of the public good. So we can talk about the obvious incompetence and negligence of Donald Trump, his lack of empathy and the like. But what we need to talk about is the kind of, I think, the epidemic of selfishness that threatens the republic. In so many ways, you have many Americans, millions of Americans, who are operating because death has seemingly passed by their door, that they think that they are okay, that they are fine. And they're not really concerned, it seems to me, about those families who are grieving, those families who are grieving the loss of loved ones. The fact that we lost over 2,700 people yesterday, and the fact that the President of the United States did not mention it. And the fact that you have folks in Staten Island having large parties having to be disrupted by the police. The fact that we have Americans acting as if folk aren't dying at this rate, that 450,000 of our fellows may be dead by February, right? It reminds me of Ayn Rand's The Virtue of Selfishness. She says to redeem man in morality, it is to redeem the concept of selfishness, Joe. So when you talk about the lack of civilizing forces, we have to talk about how selfish we've become, such that we can't even express a kind of empathy or concern for our fellows. That's where we are, it seems to me.
And Willie, it's the challenge also has to do with the fact that so many people have become isolated, that they sit in their homes all day, and they'll either watch cable news, whatever channel, or they'll listen to a podcast. They'll go online and they see things that reinforce their pre-existing worldview. And they're solo operators, and then they'll spew hate back out online. And again, this lack of civilizing forces in society, too weak to combat the lure of authoritarianism. It leads, just think about what we saw yesterday, the madness, the absolute madness of a president of these United States inside the Oval Office, or inside the White House, spewing conspiracy theories. In any prior time, his cabinet would have gone in and they would have voted to remove him through the 25th Amendment. They would have walked him away. In any prior time, any prior administration, this wouldn't have happened. But you have now too many Americans believing him, believing the bizarre conspiracy theories. We saw it burst onto the scenes first with Pizzagate, where a guy shows up with a gun. We've got people believing that Democrats are running, pedophile, cannibal rings or something like that. The president won't even discount that. But again, we know Donald Trump's problem.
That's
the
right.
bigger problem is, again, people inside of the White House, including members of his own family, that have allowed him to do this to America, that have allowed hundreds of thousands of Americans to die. The members in the United States Senate that have not called him out because they're afraid things may go bad in Georgia. Things may go bad in Georgia. You let civilization go up in flames because things may go bad in Georgia. Mitch McConnell, I've got bad news for you. Things are going really bad in Georgia right now. You got a guy that gave money to Barack Obama twice, going around quoting Jesus, claiming he's a Trumper, and telling people not to vote for your candidates in the Georgia race. You're being too clever by half. So Willie, it's so much bigger. This problem is so much bigger than Donald Trump. It's all the people around him. It's the family members around him. It's the staff around him inside the White House. It's people on Capitol Hill. It's Mitch McConnell. It's the Republican senators who will not speak out because civilizing forces in society are too weak to combat the lure of authoritarianism.